Today we're making easy bean meatballs.
That sounds tasty. But first, welcome. You're watching Strickland's and Friends, a seasonal whole food plant-based cookbook. Please click the like or thumbs up button. That helps our videos be seen by more people.
So today we're making easy bean meatballs. And the reason that I'm doing this is because the recipe is in this book called Food is Climate by Glenn Mercer. And it's all about how the meat and dairy industry in particular play into climate change. And Glenn Mercer, the author, asked for Food for Life instructors like me to submit recipes. And so I was fortunate enough to get some of my recipes in this book. So I'm not making one of my own recipes today. I'm making a recipe from Brittany Giroudi from the Giroudi family because it sounded really good, and it includes my very favorite grain, farro. So let's make her recipe. All right, so easy bean meatballs. It calls for 1 cup of cooked farro, so I already cooked it in my pressure cooker 10 minutes, and then you take farro and then you add twice as much water. So however much farro you're cooking, add twice as much water. So 1 cup of farro, 2 cups of water. And then you only bring it to high pressure for 10 minutes, let it come down on natural release for 5 minutes, and then let all of the rest of the pressure out, and it's perfect farro every time. So this is 1 cup of cooked farro. I'm going to put that in the food processor. Okay. And we have 1 can of kidney beans, and she suggests kidney beans or pinto beans. I had kidney beans, and these are just Whole Foods brand organic dark red kidney beans. So we're putting those in. I've already rinsed and drained them, and then just put them back in the can to make it easier to show exactly what kind I'm using. A couple stuck in the bottom. Set that aside, and then we have a 1/2 cup of whole rolled oats, and these are just organic whole rolled oats, not instant oats, and not whole oat groats or steel cut oats. They're whole rolled oats, also known as old-fashioned oats. And we have a 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. Now you could buy breadcrumbs at the store, just dried breadcrumbs, that's fine. I made my own because she calls for in her recipe a 1/2 cup of whole wheat breadcrumbs. And so I looked at the store, they didn't have whole wheat breadcrumbs, they had white breadcrumbs. I really do like whole wheat better. So I just took some whole wheat bread and toasted it and whirled it up in my food processor and made breadcrumbs. So it's easy. Probably cheaper than buying breadcrumbs at the store too. All right, and then we have a 1/2 cup of red onion and diced red onion. And we have 3 tablespoons of vegetable broth. Two tablespoons of tomato paste. Three teaspoons of Italian seasoning or pizza seasoning, and I had both, and I thought, you know, pizza seasoning sounds kind of good, so I threw in 3 teaspoons of pizza seasoning, and then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of miso. This is white miso paste. I think you could use pretty much any kind of miso you might happen to have. Whatever's on sale. If you don't have any and you have to go buy some, then whatever you can find at the grocery store. So remember, miso is a whole form of soy. It is made with fermented soybeans, and it's been used in Asian cooking for thousands of years. It's really, really good for you. It is the same miso that you find if you go to an Asian restaurant and they have miso soup. That's the base. This miso is the base of that soup. Okay, and then some fresh cracked black pepper. And I like pepper, so I'll use a lot. This is the pepper grinder my husband got me as my very first present he ever bought me 30 years ago. Oh my goodness, that's unbelievable. Okay, so with all of the ingredients in the food processor, I'll just whirl that all up until it is well blended. And I can see some of it sticking to the sides, so I'm gonna scrape it down. Ooh, that smells really good. Wow. Oh, it's the pizza seasoning. It smells like pizza. I was gonna say, this smells like pizza. This smells so good. All right, we'll whirl it up one more time. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, wow. Okay. Weirdly, it looks kind of like ground meat, which is kind of freaking me out a little bit, but it looks like ground meat. Wow. Okay. So take that out of here. And then it says to roll it up in meatballs and dip it in a breading. So the breading is more of the fresh breadcrumbs I just made, 1/3 of a cup of fresh breadcrumbs, and 1/3 of a cup of nutritional yeast, which remember is not baker's yeast, not brewer's yeast, nutritional yeast. And then 1 teaspoon more of that pizza seasoning. Wow, that's gonna be very cheesy and pizza tasting. That sounds great. Let me get a fork and we'll stir that up. Okay, that looks good. And I've already lined a baking sheet with parchment paper. So I'm going to start rolling up, and I have a feeling these look a little sticky, so I bet that I should probably wet my hands a little bit first to keep the meatballs from sticking to my hands too much. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay, that's a big meatball. Okay, it's relatively round. And then we'll drop it in the breading, toss it with a little breading. Okay. And pop it on the sheet. There. Now that all of the meatballs are done, I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes and flip them over about halfway through just to make sure they get evenly browned. So we'll see you back in 30 minutes. Here we go. Okay, so I've just taken the meatballs out of the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes. I flipped them over halfway through. They're brown. They smell amazing. Oh my goodness. I made some of them bigger than others because I wasn't really sure. She didn't say in the recipe how big to make them, so I don't know if I was supposed to make more or less. But as they say, the proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the proof is in the meatballs. So I think I'll try one of the small ones. Let's take a look. Ooh, look at that. Well, it definitely looks like a meatball on the inside. Let's see how it tastes. They're still really hot. It's really good. Okay, so I think it's going to taste really, really good with my roasted red pepper sauce, which is in the bonus section of the book. So if you order the book on Amazon and then email foodisclimate@gmail.com, then and let them see that you bought the book, send a proof of purchase, then they'll send you the bonus section of the recipe part, and my roasted red pepper sauce is in the bonus section. So, but I think they would be really, really good dipped in that roasted red pepper sauce, which is a separate video. So look for that. Bye. Thanks for watching. Please click at the top for videos that we have found to be very important.
Click at the bottom right to see one of our featured videos.
Subscribe to our channel by clicking our icon at the center of the screen.
And turn on notifications so that you can get our videos when the fruits and vegetables featured in that video are in season and at their best.
See you next time.